Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept the obeisances. All goes to Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Yeah, Rukmini Mati, whenever you're ready, you can start Mati.
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Sri Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devin Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nastapraya Vareshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So today we're continuing Canto 3, the status quo, chapter 33, activities of Kapila. Text 1. Sri Maitreya said, thus Devahuti, the mother of Lord Kapila and the wife of Kardama Muni, became free from all the ignorance concerning devotional service and transcendental knowledge. She offered her obeisances unto the Lord, the author of the basic principles of Sankhya system of philosophy, which is the background of liberation, and she satisfied him with the following verses of prayer. 2. Devahuti said, Brahma is said to be unborn because he takes birth from the lotus flower which grows from your abdomen while you lie in the ocean at the bottom of the universe. But even Brahma simply meditated upon you, whose body is the source of unlimited universes. 3. My dear Lord, although personally you have nothing to do, you have distributed your energies in the interactions of the material modes of nature. And for that reason, the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation take place. My dear Lord, you are self-determined, and you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead for all living entities. For them, you created this material manifestation. And although you are one, your device energies can act multifariously. This is inconceivable to us. Text 4. As the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you have taken birth from my abdomen. O my Lord, how is that possible for the Supreme One, who has in his belly all the cosmic manifestation? The answer is that it is possible, for at the end of the millennium, you lie down on a leaf of a banyan tree, and just like a small baby, you lift the toe of your lotus foot. Text 5. My dear Lord, you have assumed this body in order to diminish the sinful activities of the fallen and to enrich their knowledge in devotion and liberation. Since these sinful people are dependent on your direction by your own will, you assume incarnations as a boar and as other forms. Similarly, you have appeared in order to distribute transcendental knowledge to your dependents. Text 6. To say nothing of the spiritual advancement of persons who see the Supreme Person face to face, even a person born in a family of dog-eaters immediately becomes eligible to perform Vedic sacrifice if he once utters the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or chants about him, hears about his pastimes, offers him obeisances, or even remembers him. Text 7. Oh, how glorious are they whose tongues are chanting your holy name. Even if born in the families of dog-eaters, such persons are worshipable. Persons who chant the holy name of your lordship must have executed all kinds of austerities and fire sacrifices, and achieve all the good manners of the Aryans. To be chanting the holy name of your lordship, they must have bathed at holy places of pilgrimage, studied the Vedas, and fulfilled everything required. Exit. I believe, my lord, that you are Lord Vishnu himself, under the name of Kapila, and you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Brahman. The saints and sages, being freed from all the disturbances of the senses and the mind, meditate upon you. For by your mercy only can one become free from the clutches of the three modes of material nature. At the time of dissolution, all the Vedas are sustained in you only. Text 9. Thus, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kapila, satisfied by the words of his mother, towards whom he was very affectionate, replied with gravity. Text 10. The Personality of Godhead said, My dear mother, the path of self-realization, which I have already instructed to you, is very easy. You can execute this system without difficulty, and by following it, you shall very soon be liberated, even within your present body. Text 11. My dear mother, those who are actually transcendentalists certainly follow my instructions, as I have given them to you. You may rest assured that if you traverse this path of self-realization perfectly, surely you shall be free from the fearful material contamination and shall ultimately reach me. Mother, persons who are not conversant with this method of devotional service certainly cannot get out of the circle of birth and death. Text 12. Sri Maitreya said, The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kapila, after instructing his beloved mother, took permission from her and left his home. His mission have been fulfilled. So I'll stop here for today.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Krishna and Prabhu, whenever you're ready, you can start, Prabhu.
Yeah, sure, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Rukmini Mataji, for reading today's section, the translations. Start with prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachattadeshatarani. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 33. This is the last chapter of this canto, titled Activities of Kapila, from slokas 1 to 12. So just to give a background, in the previous chapter, Kapila Bhagavan narrated about the people who are attached to material things and perform different pious activities. So Nishkama Karma. So, and then due to that, they will be elevated to higher planets. But then Kapila Bhagavan also mentions that even one elevates to the highest planet in this universe, like Satyaloka or Brahmaloka. So they have to leave the body. So that's why he stresses to take up devotional service so that one can go back home, back to Godhead. So in this chapter, so Mother Devahuti glorifies Lord Kapila Bhagavan. So we appeared as her son, and then she understands that he is none other than the Supreme Lord Vishnu himself, who appeared to give this transcendental knowledge for the general people. And then Kapila Bhagavan mentions to her to practice this bhakti yoga and make her life successful. Then he takes the permission of his mother, and then leaves the home. So then we hear how Mother Devavati followed the instructions of his son and performed the activities related to bhakti yoga, and then becomes liberated. So that's a brief information about this chapter. So going in from sloka 1 to 12. So in the first sloka, so Maitreya Muni is mentioning here that, so as we know that all the discussion is happening between Maitreya Muni and Vidura. So Maitreya Muni is narrating to Vidura. So and Maitreya Muni is telling here to Vidura that Mother Devahuti, so who is the mother of Lord Kapila, after hearing this transcendental knowledge that was given by Kapila Bhagavan, so she freed from all the ignorance. So this is the symptom of gaining the transcendental knowledge. So then she offered her obeisances, and here Maitreya Muni is telling that this is the basic principles of Sankhya system of philosophy. It's a background of liberation. So and then she started offering prayers to Kapila Bhagavan. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that so this Sankhya philosophy that was given by Kapila Bhagavan is the basis to be elevated to devotional service. So one who follows this or applies this transcendental knowledge in their day-to-day activities, they are situated in devotional service. And it is the background for the liberation. So Siddhi Bhumi, like that. So whoever applies this knowledge in their life, then they will be immediately freed from Maya or the material energy. So in that way, they will situate in the liberation state even while they are in this material body. So that's called Jivan Mukti. And we see the example of Mother Devahuti, how she practiced it, and she became liberated while she was in this material body. And then, of course, after leaving the body, going back home, back to Godhead. So this knowledge is very powerful, and this not only Mother Devahuti can experience this, it's available for everyone and all of us, so that one can takes up this knowledge and apply in our day-to-day life, and we can also experience that liberated state while we are in this material world. So now Devahuti started glorifying Kapila Bhagavan. So she is mentioning that Brahma is unborn because he appears on top of the lotus flower, so which comes from the abdomen of Lord Vishnu, Garbhodakasaya Vishnu, who lies in the ocean at the bottom of this universe. So even Brahma also meditates upon Supreme Lord, and who is the source of unlimited universes. So he said unborn because Brahma is not born like what we see in this material world, like through the material father and material mother that we visually see in this in this material world. So that's why he's called Aja, unborn, because he appeared on the top of the lotus flower that came from the Lord Vishnu, Garbhodakasaya Vishnu's abdomen. So though he is the first living entity, still Lord Brahma meditates on Supreme Lord to create this universe, so or to assist to serve Krishna in the creation of this universe. So he got all the empowerment and guidance to perform his task, the creation. For that purpose, Lord Brahma also meditates on the Supreme Lord. So and Mother Devahuti is also mentioning here that he is the source of unlimited universe. So we hear in the earlier cantos or earlier chapters also, like how Krishna as the Karanodakasaya Vishnu in this material world, so lying on the Karana ocean. So when he exhales, when he breathes out, then unlimited universes comes out from his body. And when he inhales, then all the universes destroys or goes into him. So Mother Devahuti is expressing her astonishment how though he is the source of unlimited universe, still he appeared in her womb and he took birth from her womb. So that was a little surprising for her. Of course, she explains in the next sloka that it is possible for him because Krishna can do anything as he is Yogeshwara. So, and then in the text 3, so he's saying that Mother Devati is mentioning that although personally you have nothing to do, so and all his energies will do everything, whatever he is desiring, and he is self-determined. And then for them, he created this material. For all the living entities, he created the material manifestation. Although you are one, your diverse energies can act multifariously, and this is inconceivable. So this is called achintya. So inconceivable. Krishna's energies are unlimited. So it's called Parasya Shaktir Vivadaiva Shruyate Swabhavika Jnana Balakriya Cha, like that. So it has unlimited energies and they are all endowed with the Jnana Balakriya, like the knowledge and then strength and ability to perform the activities. So as soon as Krishna desires, it's a Swabhavika. So they are aligned with Krishna's desire. So as soon as Krishna desires, then all these energies will act and then complete the task that is Krishna is desiring. So, so that's why Krishna has nothing to do. All his energies will perform the tasks. So, and Prabhupada mentions in the purport that although the modes of the material nature are entrusted to different manifestation. So different manifestation like Lord Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. So they are all entrusted with different departments of this universe affairs like creation, maintenance, and destruction. But the Supreme Lord himself is aloof from all such activities. So Prabhupada mentions that in the purport. So in the fourth sloka, and Mother Devahuti is mentioning that we have taken birth from my abdomen. So how is this possible? Because Krishna's belly is all the cosmic manifestation. It has all the cosmic manifestation. So we see that during the Mother Yashoda's pastime also, when Krishna opened his mouth, then Mother Yashoda saw all the cosmic manifestation. And here she is giving an answer also for that. How is it possible? So it's saying that at the end of the millennium, so you lie down on a leaf of a banyan tree, just like a small baby, and you lick the toe of your lotus foot. So even though all the cosmic manifestation is in his belly, but still Krishna, as a small baby, he lies down on a leaf of a banana tree and licks his toe. Prabhupada mentions in the purport that during the dissolution of this universe, there is a devastating water, and on that devastating water, Krishna as a small baby, so he lies on the leaf of a banyan tree. And Mother Devahuti is mentioning that it is not stunning for Krishna appearing from her abdomen, because here we see that Krishna is appearing as a small baby. So that's why he's mentioned as a Yogeshwara. So he can become smaller than smaller or bigger than the biggest. And Prabhupada mentions another point that so why Krishna licks his toe. Prabhupada mentions that all the great sages or the devotees, they take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet and derive great satisfaction. Tushyanti cha ramanti cha, like great satisfaction. So that's why Krishna thinks that there is some definitely transcendental pleasure in his lotus toes. So that's why he's licking his lotus toe. So it's like that Krishna coming as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to taste the nectar of the devotional service. So like it is tasted by all the great devotees headed by Srimati Radharani. So he want to taste that nectar because he sees that they're all very blissful. Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha. So for that purpose, Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's one of the reason. And in the next sloka, we see that Mother Devoti is mentioning that the specific purpose of Kapil Bhagavan incarnation, saying that he assumed this body in order to diminish the sinful activities by giving this transcendental knowledge and liberation. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that in the earlier slokas, Mother Devoti glorified Kapila Bhagavan with a general transcendental qualification. But in this sloka, specifically, she mentioned the purpose of the Kapila Bhagavan incarnation. Because all the living entities, so they are going through from one body to another body in this material world, as they have a desire to lord over this material nature. So in due course of time, what happens? These living entities became so degraded. So like we see in Kali Yuga, like and as the Kali Yuga progress, people are so degraded. So they need enlightenment. So they need this transcendental knowledge so that one can apply this knowledge in their day-to-day life and then take benefit out of it. So that's why Devoti is mentioning that you have appeared in order to distribute this transcendental knowledge to your dependents, to all these conditioned living entities. So in the next sloka, Mother Devoti is mentioning that to say nothing of spiritual advancement of persons who see the Supreme Person face to face. So even those people who, even though they are born in the low grade families, but as soon as they chant the holy name of the Supreme Lord, they become eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices. So generally, who becomes eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices? Who goes through these samskaras and then elevate to the Brahmana state. So those people are eligible to perform Vedic sacrifice. But here we see that the importance of or the power of the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So as soon as one chants the holy name of the Supreme Lord, they become eligible to perform Vedic sacrifice. So they're elevated to a higher positions. So that's the power of the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, and then, so not only chanting, even if they remember hear the pastimes or offer obeisances, or even if they remember him, so they will become eligible to perform Vedic sacrifice. They're elevated. So that's why Mother Devoti is mentioning in the next sloka that how glorious those people whose tongues are chanting your holy name. So even they are born in a family of dog eaters, they are worshipable. So they are they are situated in such an exalted personality. So whoever chants the holy name of the Supreme Lord, so it is understood that they executed all kinds of austerities and fire sacrifice. And to be chanting of holy name, they must have bathed in holy places of pilgrimage, studied the Vedas, or fulfilled. Everything is required. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that one can think that, how come the devotees are higher than the Brahmana? So, like just chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord, how can they become higher than a Brahmana position? And here this verse clears that doubt, saying that, the chanting of the holy name of the Supreme Lord is not all of a sudden. So one is chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord means they have already performed in their previous life all kinds of Vedic rituals. So or they have already, like it's like Prabhupada gives analogy, like somebody is studying a law course means, so they have already completed elementary school, middle school, high school, like that. So similarly, so a person who is practicing Bhakti Yoga or chanting the holy name means they have already performed all kind of sacrifice, austerities and fire sacrifice, all those kind of things. So that's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentions that these people are not ordinary people. Sukuritano Arjuna, saying that they are all pious people. Otherwise, it is not possible for one to chant the holy name of the Supreme Lord. unless a devotee has prayed for him. Like even if they are not pious, if a devotee is prayed for him or showered his mercy, then they can able to chant. In general, so one should have that Sukriti. Then only they can chant the holy name of the Supreme Lord. It is like, Valmiki Mahamuni, when Narada Muni asked to chant the holy name of Lord Rama, so he was not able to chant. So then Valmiki Mahamuni, of course, he showered his mercy or given his mercy. Then he has given, he told to chant the Mara, so later it became Rama, like Rama, 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 like that. So by chanting that Rama, Rama, so Valmiki Mahamuni became a great sage and great personality. So very, very powerful devotee. So then here, Mother Devavati is mentioning that, so you are the Lord Vishnu himself. And the saints and sages, they being freed from all the disturbance of the senses and mind, meditate upon you. So these great sages meditate. So as soon as by his mercy, one can become free from the clutches of the three modes. So, and Prabhupada mentions in the purport that so now Mother Devavati is concluding her prayers, saying that he is Lord Vishnu himself. And she is hoping that so with these simple prayers, Kapila Bhagavan can be satisfied. And Mother Devavati is stressing here that these great saints and sages, they meditate on the Supreme Lord. So if we want to escape from, so in that way, they become free from the clutches of the three modes. So similarly, if we want to escape from the problems of this material world, then we also need to follow these great saints and sages in their footsteps and perform this bhakti yoga. So then one can be freed from the clutches of the three modes. So then we see that in the 9th sloka, that Kapila Bhagavan, hearing the words of our mother Devahuti, so he is satisfied, and now he started replying with very affectionate and gravity. So with so much affection and respect, so Kapila Bhagavan started replying to his mother. And in the text 10, so Kapila Bhagavan started speaking here, and he's saying that this path of self-realization, which he has already instructed, is very easy and can be executed without difficulty. And if one follows sincerely, then what is the result? Then they will become liberated within your present body. So that's called Jivan Mukta. So the Prabhupada mentions in the purport that this, of course, in this Kali Yuga, by the mercy of Prabhupada, this Bhakti Yoga, or the process of Krishna consciousness became more easy. So just chant the holy name of the Supreme Lord. And if one can execute this simple process of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, so under the guidance of an advanced devotees or spiritual master, then they can liberate while they are in this present body. Jivan Mukta. How Mother Devavati became liberated or got liberated while she is in this present body. Similarly, one can be liberated. Because as soon as one chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, all these their sinful reactions, what they have, will be burnt out. So even they are in the lower, they are born in the lower family. So like Bhagavatam says that in a Kirata, Huna, Andhra, like, so even when they are addicted to, like, the persons who are addicted to sinful activities, if a person born in that kind of family, but still, as soon as one chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, all their sins are burnt out, and then they will be elevated to a position where he is worshipable. So that person is worshipable. That's what Mother Devavati is mentioned in the previous glorification. Like, and we see from the example of Advaita Acharya, like Srila Advaita Acharya, when he wanted to offer his first Shraddha offering, so he chose Srila Haridas Thakur, who is born in a Muslim family. though he is born in a Muslim family, but because he is chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra constantly, so Srila Advaita Acharya considered him as the exalted person and fit for giving this first Shraddha ceremony. So as soon as one chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and follows this process of bhakti, they're situated in a position where they are worshipable. So in the text 11, Kapila Bhagavan is saying that the transcendentalists certainly follow my instruction as I have given to them, and the rest assured, if you traverse this path of self-realization perfectly, so one will be freed from fearful material contamination and ultimately reach Supreme Lord. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that this material world is full of anxieties. Dukhalayam ashashvatam, like that. So it's full of miseries. Padam, padam, matve, padam. Every step there is a danger. So it's very fearful. So, but one who takes up this process of bhakti, so they become freed from the fearful of material contamination. Like Lord Shiva also mentions, Narayana parasarve nakutaschana pipyati. So one who takes the shelter of the Supreme Lord Narayana, so they are freed from the fearness. So they become fearless. So not only that, so they freed from the material contamination, and then they can get out of the cycle of birth and death. So this janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha dosha darshan. So they will become freed from the birth and death. But one who doesn't, not conversant, then they have to go through this cycle of birth and death continuously, and then suffer in this material world, constant suffering. So that's why Kapila Bhagavan is telling this about this option. We have an option to stay in this material world and continue to suffer more and more, or take up this path of bhakti, the chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and become free from this suffering or fear or anxieties. So it's up to us. And in text 12, Maitreya Muni is telling that Kapila Bhagavan, after instructing this transcendental knowledge to his mother, of course through his mother to all the general people, so he took permission from his mother and left his home because his mission is fulfilled. Prabhupada mentions that it may look like Kapila Bhagavan left home to gain spiritual realization or to practice spirituality. He is the Supreme Lord himself, so he has nothing to do. But Kapila Bhagavan is setting an example here that as soon as one fulfills their tasks of household things, then it is one has to leave the home and then dedicate their life for spiritual realization or practice of bhakti yoga. So he's setting an example, like how we see that in the example of Lord Ramchandra or Lord Krishna, though they are Supreme Lord himself, but they accepted a spiritual master. So showing the importance of accepting a guru to gain the spiritual knowledge and follow the directions of the guru and implement those instructions in our day-to-day life and go back home, back to Godhead. So Kapila Bhagavan is also here setting an example that one has to, as soon as one completes their household activities, then they leave the house and then dedicate their life for the spiritual practice. Of course, in Kali Yuga, it may be very difficult for many of us. So, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned that they can stay wherever they are, sthana sthite. So they can stay wherever they are, but mold our activities, keeping Krishna in the center, like in such a way that all our activities are centered Krishna, like waking up early, chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, cooking bhoga and offering that to Krishna and taking it as a prasadam. So like that. And after that, apart from that, we continue our regular activities like going work and maintaining the family, all those things. So like that, we can mold our activities, even though one is not ready to leave the home and dedicate their rest of the life for spiritual practice. They can stay in the home, in the same place where they are there, but keep Krishna in all our activities. Keep Krishna in the center. So those are the few points that I thought to share. Of course, in the upcoming sessions, we see how Mother Devavati executed the instructions of Kapila Bhagavan with sincerity and got liberated from this material world. So I'll pause it here. Thank you all for giving this opportunity. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.